At midnight, the city of Lagos was never asleep. The street lights of Allen Avenue blinked like tired eyes, and the air smelled of fried suya, perfume, and the thick sweat of waiting. Among the rows of women leaning on tinted cars and iron railings, one stood out. Moreyo, 24, caramel skin glistening under the amber light, her blonde wig catching the glow like fire. They called her Asewo Pepper Room, not because she was loud, but because she was smooth, the kind of woman who didn't chase clients. She waited, calm, confident, and mysterious, like a secret everyone wanted to pay to know. Morayo's story was never meant to end up here. Once upon a time, she was a church girl from Ibadan, raised by her grandmother who sold ogi by the roadside. She came to Lagos to study mass communication, but the city swallowed her like a greedy god. Tuition failed, rent failed, trust failed, love failed. So, one night, when her belly groaned louder than her conscience, she wore red lipstick and walked to Allen.
Asewo life wasn't just about sex, it was business. Every girl had her market, her regulars, her boundaries. There was Blessing Champagne, who only took politicians. There was Titi Sparkle, who could make a man forget his wife in one night. And there was Morayo, the quiet one who listened to her clients like a therapist. Her clients weren't all the same. There was Mr. Jide, a married banker who cried after every session, whispering, "Morayo, I don't know who I am anymore." There was Prince Kenechukwu, who loved to talk about his father's will. And Ladi, a musician who promised to take her to London. He never did. But Morayo had a rule: no love, no dreams, no sleepovers. She worked, she smiled, she survived.
Behind every Asewo on Allen, there was a madam. Madame Tonya was that woman, skin bleached to porcelain, heavy gold chain on her neck, nails red like blood. She ran 3 girls' houses in Ikeja, plus 1 in Lekki. She didn't smile often. Her voice could slice glass. And she took 40% of every job. "Morayo, remember, your body na your market," she would say, blowing cigarette smoke into her face. "No give am free. No fall in love. No thief my client." Madame Tonya treated the girls like products. But Morayo kept her head down. She was saving, quietly. 1,000 naira here, 5,000 naira there, folded neatly into a polythene bag and buried under her bed. Her dream? To open a beauty salon. To see her name on a signboard. Morayo Glam Studio. Look like your dreams. One humid Friday, a black Prado pulled up. Inside was a man with an expensive wristwatch, a tired face, and a deep baritone voice. He introduced himself as Chief Alade, a real estate mogul. He didn't want sex, he wanted company. "Just talk to me," he said. "I'm lonely." Morayo laughed softly. "Chief, you pay me to talk? That's new." But that night, they didn't touch. They talked. About Lagos, about his late wife, about destiny. He came again the next night, then again. Soon, he started visiting her at home. He brought food, perfumes, and once, 500,000 naira in a brown envelope. He told her to quit the streets. He promised to open her salon. And for the first time in years, Morayo allowed herself to dream, to imagine a morning where she wouldn't have to paint her face for strangers. But the street has no mercy. When you rise too fast, someone will pull your heels. Blessing Champagne, jealous and bitter, told Madame Tonya that Morayo was planning to run solo with Chief Alade. One night, Madame sent her boys. They came with anger and iron rods. They broke into Morayo's room, took her savings, smashed her mirror, and left her bleeding on the floor. When Chief Alade came the next morning, he found her in tears, her wig gone, her face swollen. He took her to a clinic in Surulere. He paid for her treatment. But 2 weeks later, he vanished. His number switched off, his driver gone. Rumor said his wife's family had discovered her photos and blackmailed him. Marayo didn't cry. She just stared at the ceiling for hours, replaying his voice. You deserve better. Months passed. Her face healed. Her heart hardened. But something inside her had changed. A small fire of self-worth that refused to die. She left Madame Tonia's house quietly one dawn, carrying only one small bag and her Bible. She went to Yaba, rented a single room, and started braiding hair for students. At first, it was slow. Then one girl posted her work on Instagram. Soon, more came. Before long, Marayo Glam Studio became a real shop. Pink curtains, gold mirrors, Afrobeat music playing softly. Sometimes men still called. She ignored them. Sometimes the past whispered. She prayed. Every Sunday, Mariah went to church and sat in the back. When people lifted their hands in worship, she would whisper her own private prayer. God, thank you for not leaving me in the street where I left myself. Her story became an open secret, the Asewo who made it clean. Some judged her, some admired her, but Marayo didn't care anymore. She would look at herself in the mirror, glowing, peaceful, free, and smile. This body way they use me before, she'd say softly. Now they feed me with dignity. One day, a young girl came to her salon. She was new to Lagos, eyes wide, desperate for money. Marayo looked at her and saw herself, the hunger, the confusion, the brokenness. She handed the girl a comb. Learn to make hair, she said, not to sell yourself. Money way you get with peace go last longer. And that night, as Marayo closed her salon, she looked up at the dark sky and whispered, every Asewo deserves a second chance. If Lagos go, let am breathe.
So bestie, what did you learn from this story? Kindly share with me your lessons in the comments sections. Give the story a thumbs up and share the story with your loved ones. Also subscribe to this Queen Ifio TV channel if you've not done so by now until I bring another story away.